Hi, thanks for having us. My name is Gail,
My name's Lisette.
and together we are the Trans Lipstick Lesbian Power Couple. So,
First question.
yeah. How did we become who we are today? Thank you. That's a really good question because we met about 5 years ago.
Easily. I was born this way.
Yes. And we met at a social function, a social group. And we both came out later in life, more on that later. And after we met at the social group, then we sort of kept in touch on social media. But what did we do? That was fun.
Does it come on any other questions? No. Good. We on Instagram had little food channel, if you like. So mine was Miss Lisette's One Pan Dinners, and Gail's was
Gail's Gourmet Vegan Delights. And so we would cross post. And one day Lisette posted a vegan dinner. And I said, that's not fair.
And then I invited her out to a hair and beauty night.
So we went on this hair and beauty night after I counter-offered with a visit to the art gallery to view an Impressionist art exhibition on tour from France. And it was then that Lisette floored me with her knowledge of art.
Impressionism in particular.
Impressionist art in particular. Then we went to the hair night, hair and makeup night. Lisette was the model. And at the close of it, she said that she wanted to go out. And as I'd driven, I said, okay, that's fine, I'll take you.
You're very driven.
So on the way, we went to the car, obviously, to get it out of the car park to go into town. When we got there,
she locked me in the car. I thought she was being very safety conscious. And then she told me of her undying love for me.
So on a first date, I told Lisette that I was in love with her. And after going out and partying, we went back to my place. And that's when Lisette moved in.
Been together ever since.
Every single day, except when we've been in hospital for surgery. And that's the only times we've been apart in the last 4 years.
Yeah.
So, how has our relationship with each other impacted on our lives as transgender women?
I've always been a woman of transgender experience, so I don't know how it impacted on my life. I guess when I first came out socially, I was bullied at an employer, so I had to leave that. That made it very difficult to find other work, but because the particular field I work in, I have been able to find another very rewarding job that pays appropriately. Gail's experience is pretty much the same.
Yeah, I had a small business, and when I came out, I lost all of my 1,200 customers within 3 months because they were just transphobic, and I obviously threw my brain away because I no longer knew how to fix computers, which was my business, a computer repair and sales business.
Which is absurd.
Absolutely absurd. So our relationship with each other, we bounce off each other very well. We're very much in love. We got married a couple of years ago. We had 3 attempts because of COVID. And in the end, we got married with only our friends from Adelaide and not from interstate or overseas. My family, I have family in America, and we have lots and lots of fellow advocates and friends interstate and overseas.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Okay, so what advice would we give to other transgender women struggling with their identity?
Oh, this is an interesting question because from my experience, I don't know if I struggled with my identity. I struggled with other people accepting my identity. And I guess that's sort of like, well, like family, for instance, you know, you get some resistance. All I can say is it's your life. Your identity is your identity. Don't let anybody else tell you anything different. I mean, you know,
Yeah,
it's just there.
I think you've got
Just
to
are.
take time to find out who you are. Like, it took me a long time to actually decide what clothes I was really comfortable in. And I went through a few phases of wearing different clothes. And I still have my hippie mode and my business mode and my casual mode. So I've got like 3 wardrobes. I've got 3 times as many dresses as Lisette, but she borrows mine anyway, which is cute.
Maybe.
I think believe in yourself
Mm.
is really important, because you are who you are. Being honest to yourself and believing in that is so important. The rest will follow. It can be difficult sometimes with the dangers of outside living. So always be safe, always be aware. So some of our experiences, and we've had a few good experiences and we've had a few challenges. I think our good experiences would be the formation of our 2 organisations, which is the TLPC, which is a business. And the purpose of that business is to promote equality. And we cover all LGBTIQA+, First Nation people, refugees, disabled, and more. And what we do is we target small to medium enterprise and try and get these employers to treat people properly and to understand that diversity is indeed the future and inclusion will help their workforce and their profits. So we encourage them to employ trans people.
Good experiences, I would say, meeting like-minded people. Like Gail just touched on TLPC, but Kindred Spirits Australia is a social program that we started, and we've met some really beautiful people through that. Challenges, harping back to what Gail just said about trying to educate people. Some people just don't want to be educated, or they want it for free. And you know, my life experience, sure, it's not for free. I mean, you wouldn't ask me to do my normal job for free, so why would you ask me to do this for free? So that's one of those little things that I find quite difficult.
Just touching on that a bit more, we do speak publicly. We have performed for a number of large organisations in Australia, given them online presentations and the like. And we normally charge about $500 for the 2 of us for a 1-hour presentation. Some people think that we should do it for free, and even people in our community think we should do it for free.
No.
And we argue against that because it's a professional service that we offer, and these people are trying to learn from us. So they would pay anybody else, so they can pay us too.
Yeah.
Some of the challenges, the other challenges, are just day-to-day life. There's always going to be dicks out there. You know, there's always going to be people who do not get it. They are going to be non-inclusive. They're going to be discriminatory. And just remember to stay safe. Yeah. And avoid where possible. So moving forward, I think the future of the transgender community is going to be troubled for some time with the rise of the right wing and the hijacking of certain elements of Christianity and other religions by zealots who twist the teachings of those religions to their own persecutory views. It's a shame. I'm not religious, but I respect those who are. And I think that is one of our challenges. But I also see the number of people like us getting out there and being active, advocating our rights, advocating equality, diversity, inclusion. I think the more we have of that, the better we'll be. It'll be a struggle in some countries. It's a struggle in a lot of democracies, which it shouldn't be. We just have to keep at it, people. We just have to keep at it. So I think The
Come around soon?
Yeah, I think the transgender community will survive no problem. I mean, you can't sweep us under the rug
No,
because we've existed forever and we will exist forever.
I'd like to see the transgender community nationally come together, maybe have an official group, much like the Uluru Statement of the Heart or the intersex statement. I feel we're kind of lacking somewhat, and maybe we need excuse the expression, but a manifesto.
I think we need that national body in every country to help coordinate an interrelationship with government. Okay, so
Have a drink before you ask the question.
you answer the question.
You have a drink, right? Right. Can you share any advice for transgender individuals who may be looking for love and relationships? No, I'm just kidding. The really important thing is like once you're true to yourself, so to speak, and you know what you're attracted to and all that sort of stuff, then dating is just like dating normally. I haven't had, issues getting dates and things. I don't know whether it's just because I was looking, so I was already open to people and dating. It didn't last very long because Gail scored me.
Yeah.
So there is that.
I think it's difficult to start out dating. It's probably a little worse than starting out dating after a marriage would end if you were heterosexual, heteronormative, because you've got this fear if you own yourself, and I mean you're comfortable with yourself, and you can go out, then do it. Go out, be noticed. There are lots and lots of lovely people out there. Like venues are a great place to meet people who share interests. So if you like music, get out there and go and listen to some music and talk to people. And like there's not many, but there are apps. You've got to be careful on those. Please be careful, people. And organizations that assist in that are just great.
Yeah.
So I think there's a number of specific causes and issues that are particularly important to us. I think getting noticed by government, we were fortunate to put together, well, we did the hard work to put together a transgender history installation, which showed transgender history from
7,500 BCE
up until the current day. And we showed that in the Parliament of South Australia, in their main office, in Parliament. That was with the support of a member of Parliament. And that was really great. That just showed that the government's ready to listen and speak with us. So that we have to push. That was really important to us. And we do a lot of community activity. We've done in the past community concerts. We do business breakfasts, art contests, art exhibitions, bringing community together. I'm going off the track.
Yes. Yeah, so we're talking about particularly important. So yeah, causes and issues. I would like to add sort of like causes. Equality is a very big thing. Now, I work in private enterprise. That's how we can afford to do things like TLPC and
Kindred Spirits.
Kindred Spirits Australia, thanks. Yeah. Without that income, we wouldn't be able to do the things that we do. So, one of the things that we'd like is to maybe have a little bit more impact on that. With financial support from other places.
Is lacking.
Yeah.
And that is an issue. We've been successful in getting a couple of grants, but getting big grants is trouble because they're just not there.
And one other thing I'd like to add is like equality in the workplace. Like, you know, you can't treat people differently under the Sex Discrimination Act. You can't treat people differently. There are some exceptions. I'd like to see those removed.
Yeah.
And they're around religion, so religious schools can not take a transgender student or have a transgender employee. You know, that they are free to discriminate against us under certain grounds. I'd like to see the Equal Opportunity Act tightened up so that there can be no discrimination or exceptions.
I think just about all the issues we have are to do with discrimination. And then there's the medical side where we need to get governments to put all our needs, all our medical and surgical needs under the national health system, whatever country you're in, they need to pay for it because it's just way over the top expensive. How do we navigate as a transgender woman in our age group?
I have a GPS. No, I'm just kidding. I don't find it difficult at all. I guess being an older transgender woman of experience, I'm pretty well accepted everywhere that I go. I don't get and I don't see people pointing at me. I see them quite hilariously sometimes when Gail and I go shopping and Gail will be in front of me and but then again, it could be because of her hair. But, you know, people will look and then it's really funny because then they'll turn around and they'll see me staring at them. So that's quite fun at times.
Yeah. I really haven't had any issues. When I was first coming out, when I was in my first year after coming out, I would be very I was in fact hypersensitive to people looking at me, thinking that they were being horrible and would throw me into the nearest well or something. But they didn't. So long as you're safe and in a safe environment and are self-aware of your environment, we're happy to go out anywhere.
To answer the next part of the question about the world changing, once we get over this bigotry that's occurring at the moment, as you may be aware, in the US, they've introduced just this year already 13 bits of legislation in different states to restricting transgender people and also transgender people in sport. Once we get over this, we need to fight it to make sure this stuff never, you know, gets up, especially here in this country. Once we get over that and people start realizing that we're not a threat, and, you know, I'm going to say my favorite punchline here, you know, like there was this recently, or not so long ago, this debate about transgender women going to the toilet, and I read a report about this poor woman who had cancer, had double mastectomy, so had short hair, and was abused by another person. They were saying that she was transgender when she wasn't. But I mean, you know, the only reason why anybody goes to the toilet is to do coke and pee. I mean, come on.
Thank you, Lisette. That's one of Lisette's favourite one-liners. So I think my hope for the future is that all the hard work done by activists and advocates everywhere around the world will get up. We've got a long way to go and we've got to keep going. And we are getting success in some governments, and obviously we will win because there's nothing wrong with us. There's nothing wrong with anyone being transgender. We're not a threat, that's for sure. We are no threat to anybody unless we bite you.
No, then they just have a bite mark on them.
Oh, they don't turn into transgender people?
No.
Oh, okay. So
only if they want.
I hope that we've helped out a bit here with our views from two older, aging transgender women, or women of transgender experience, as we like to call it.
Yeah.
Call ourselves. So thank you for the opportunity. It's been lovely.
So other interests or passions? I do jewelry for my own benefit. So I can't make stuff for other people because I don't like deadlines.
I cook a bit.
Gail cooks a lot. She's like, you know, if she had a chef hat, she'd have 4 of them. And I'm not kidding. She's a very, very, very exceptional. So the
I also do,
the transgender installation, we would like to continue, maybe get that in more public places if we can. That's going to be a little bit difficult considering I've just landed a wonder job. So things aren't going to go as quickly as we hope with that one.
Other passions we have are like, I like photography. Lisette wants me to do an exhibition.
I do.
And I think Lisette understates her jewellery capabilities. And I also make models, plastic models. So, and I play games on computers.
Yeah, I don't.
And I do that a lot.
I'm trying to relearn the guitar and I'm appalling.
And I bought a ukulele.
She
And I used to play drums in a rock band.
did.
So I think that's everything.
Yeah.
We've loved being here with you. So hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Yes.
So bye for now.
Ta-ta.